Hello and welcome, guys. Welcome back. Who's excited about that AR, VR, mixed reality AI headset Apple has coming out in about 2 weeks? I know I am, and you will be too. We don't have too much information yet, but one thing that we know is that they're going crazy, that they've been late in the AI, and they're going to go all out on AI in the next version of iOS 17, as well as their next iPhone, and definitely watch and headset as well. And they're going to be able to mix all of these to create an incredible experience like Apple usually does. There are a lot of rumors about the mixed reality headset. We're not going to go into all of them since we're only about 2 weeks away from them unveiling it. But what we're going to do is discuss the AI capabilities that they could be implementing as well as the ones that we know they will be implementing. Now, one of the first things they've been talking about is how they're going to improve the text-to-speech. And the text-to-speech can be used in so many different ways. First of all, it can be little things like being able to record your voice, remember your voice, and then read to you things in your own voice. I can imagine a lot of use cases for that, such as sending voice notes to somebody or even having a conversation with somebody without actually having that conversation, typing something and having your iPhone translate it into voice with your own voice and sending that as a voice note to somebody. But we can see here that it can also read off of any kind of text that you show it. For those of you who occasionally use glasses or use glasses all the time or have difficulty reading at some point in time, you can always use your phone, AR headset as well that we're going to talk about, and your iPad or any of the devices to point at a certain thing. It will either translate it for you if it's in a different language, it will read it off if it's small print, and potentially what we can see it doing as well is making suggestions. As the example they give here where they show off how it's reading the buttons on a microwave. So they could potentially not only read, it could tell you which button does what on something as simple as a microwave or on something as complicated as the inside of a computer, where you can either point your phone or AR headset and it will see all the little parts that are in the computer and determine how to install a certain part. If you don't know how, it's going to show you all that on the screen which could then describe every single action that should be taken. If you're trying to install something, it'll tell you where to install it, which cable to plug in, and it'll show you all of these things while you're doing them. Which button to click, which cable to pull, and what to do there. So that's one great use case that I can see the headset for. Needless to say, the headset, as well as the iPhone and the iPad, but specifically the headset, is going to make gaming very interesting, and for business as well, where you'll have facial recognitions. It'll be able to recognize any item in the world around you, tell you how to use it. As we've seen with Google Maps, what they're adding with the AR capabilities is absolutely wonderful. Not only would it add another dimension to the way you're driving, which of course is quite literal in this case, it will also add the capabilities of gaming and the capabilities of being very productive and very helpful. You could be walking down the street or driving, and if you're hungry, it'll pop up things in front of you telling you that there's a very good burger at a certain discount right down the road, or it might pop up the actual items from the menu, show them to you and show you exactly where that's located. It can pop up a pair of jeans that you've been looking for on the window of that shop. Apple is extremely late in that field, and you can bet that they're going to have that option included within their VR set to get the same kinds of results and more. As we've said moments ago, recognition of items around you is not only going to be for people's faces or things of that sort, it's going to also help in terms of determining things that you need. We can see here that Apple is reportedly developing AI-powered health coaching service. So when you mix the watch that you're having that's controlling your blood pressure, your heartbeat, your EKG, certain medicines that you might be taking or that you might be needing, it can be very helpful in determining, perhaps even reminding you that you're supposed to take a certain medicine. If you walk into a pharmacy, if you're buying over the counter, it can pop up things that you may need in front of you while you're walking down an aisle. It'll include data from your gym. It'll be able to determine whether what you're eating at that moment is bad for you, good for you. Perhaps it can spot something that you're allergic to, instantly take a look at that meal that you're eating and determine what's in it, perhaps how to cook it, and all these things that we're used to with ChatGPT already. All these will be available within iOS 17 most probably, and within our headset, where it's going to give you warnings on your screen or suggestions perhaps with what kind of drink you could have with the meal that you're currently eating, and so on. The cool thing about the headset as well is it can project things. So you can project a screen anywhere on a wall. You can have multiple screens in front of you. You can have a projected keyboard, so you can type with your fingers, it'll read your finger movements, and it'll type for you. And this will do wonders for gaming as well, since it'll project things onto your iPhone or your iPad, where you could see your game characters coming out of your phone or going in. You could be watching a match, a basketball match on your iPad, and you'll be able to feel like there's a depth where you could literally put your hand through your screen to grab those guys. You'll see them in 3D running around as if you're there in the stands rather than seeing everything happening on a flat screen. At the very least, it's a very cool gadget, and everything's going to be run by AI, which is going to give it all this capability. Seeing as it has access to your eyes, it's also going to be able to have emotions control, that is tracking emotions, have a log of your mood at different times of day during different activities, keep a log of that and tell you what's the best activity for you, what are things that you might be doing that are making your mood worse, things that might be helping your mood based on your reaction to things you see and things you do. So it can in fact also help in terms of mental health. And seeing as you'll be wearing that headset, if you have nearsightedness or other kinds of visual issues like we discussed earlier, it could serve as a second set of eyes. It'll manage your eyesight accordingly so you can see perfect, and perhaps you can even zoom in. Perhaps you'll be able to spread your virtual fingers in front of you when you're reading something that's far away, or a menu where the font is too small. One thing that AI does very well is also provide information, so you will not need any tour guides anymore. You'll have all the information that you want by just pointing to something, and it'll give you the full information. Another thing that AI does very well is organizing documents. So the AI can segment all your information and organize it for you. Perhaps you can ask it what you were wearing on your anniversary 10 years ago. It'll get you what you were wearing, where you went, what time it was, and every other information. So it'll enhance our own memory in amazing ways. And let's look forward to the unveiling of the mixed reality headset as well as iOS 17 coming in just 2 weeks. We will definitely update you on all the new information that we get in the meantime or at that time. I'll catch you soon, guys.